The Allegheny Journal has looked into two professionals at Mountain Gateway Community College. Josh Hagy is an instructor and the head of the Humanities and Communications at Mountain Gateway Community College. And Dr. Ben Worth is the Vice President for Academic Affairs. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us, Jerry. It's great to be here.
What we had in mind today is we received a neat news release, and we suspected it had Josh Hagy all over it, and we were right. So we asked him to join us today because the college now has a liberal arts degree, and this is so cool. Josh, you're part, on the groundwork of all of this. Can you tell the public, what is this new degree all about?
It is exactly the kind of degree I wish I had as a student here 20 years ago. I came here, I took every English course I could and crammed it in my schedule. But what this is, it's a focused liberal arts degree. You could study music, art history, English, philosophy, world languages here. If you're looking to go in sort of the liberal arts world, this is where you can get your start. It's kind of a meta major. And we offer classes here. We offer them online. It's the kind of thing that gets your feet on the ground in that liberal arts world, lets you begin to inquire about life through the humanities and get a start here and take it somewhere else.
And there are plenty of electives, 2-year program, which, as you've said, you get some good basics and then move on to a 4-year college.
Exactly, and it's got flexibility in it. So if you're looking to go to JMU, to Virginia Tech, you go to their website, you start talking to their counselors and their advisors, and you start to see some of the courses they would want you to bring to them. And we have some flexibility built into this degree to allow you to take those courses here as much as you can and take that here. So it's really a program that allows a great deal of individual flexibility.
Dr. Worth, these kinds of programs are increasingly popular, I guess, across the Virginia community college system. What brought all this to mind? Why did you decide now was the right time to create this kind of an opportunity?
Well, the wonderful thing is all this falls under the Transfer Virginia umbrella. And Transfer Virginia is a new program that launched about 5 years ago. And we brought together faculty across the community colleges and across our senior institutions in Virginia to help identify those core classes that are needed for majors across a number of fields. And within the liberal arts, associative arts degree, we have a number of different pathways identified. So we have pathways for English, for art, studio art, philosophy, religion. And the beauty of Transfer Virginia is the student can start in their local community college. They can complete what's called a Uniform Certificate of General Studies, which is their core general education requirements. And then they can move on to do coursework in the field that they wish to transfer into, knowing that that coursework is going to transfer onto a 4-year school. And they don't need to come to us knowing what school they're going to transfer to, because we've worked that out so that students can take a core group of classes with us, and whether they're going to be an English major at Radford or UVA or Virginia Tech, they're able to transfer that coursework onto their senior institution.
Pretty cool. And Josh, you're an approachable guy. You always have been. If I'm, young high school student, and I'm not sure, maybe you were sure at that age, but I'm not completely sure what courses would give me the best foundation. Is there a counselor at Mountain Gateway, or should they speak with their high school counselor about the best way forward on
all of those things?
Okay.
The high school counselor, we have wonderful academic advisors here. It's actually part of the role of being a professor here as well, that I've gone into schools and met with students individually and talked about different program paths they can have. We are very much geared toward you coming to us not knowing anything and us teaching you what you need to know. That's our job.
Well, I noticed in the news release, the reason why I was hoping we could bring you two on is one of the benefits, and of course, I had this availability when I was a kid, is you said they're relatively small classes. And I lucked out And so this sounds like a great opportunity for area students to have those as well, huh?
It really is. You know, my classes, they are small. I know my students personally, work with them individually. I try to keep up the tradition of the professors I had when I was here, like Dr. Scott and Glenn Anderson, Doc Adams, the professors I had that I modeled the way I teach after them, because this is where I kind of became really challenged as a student, learn to really be a student. And so that's kind of the goal here, is to keep up that standard and to help our students be who they can be.
You know, Jerry, I can't say enough about the good work that Josh has done, bringing up the quality of our program here and assembling a really great team of faculty who are teaching classes for us. Josh, tell us a little bit about some of the adjunct faculty we have supporting you in the liberal arts program.
Well, we actually are starting to work with Evelyn Branscombe over at Rockbridge Ballet. We offer a dance class through there, which was one of our new offerings this year. Sam Camp has joined us, and he is teaching intro to theater courses, and that's something new this year as well. We have programs, Natalie Alexisian, I believe is how we say her last name. I get that wrong sometimes. She's a wonderful art history professor. We have music. We have so many I'm going to leave someone out here. I don't mean to. We have philosophy. We have music.
I love walking past Scott Reese's music because he brings in like trumpets and all these instruments, and the students are just having an amazing time. You can hear them down the hallway when I'm coming into walking around campus. It's lovely.
Every time I've sat in on that class, I've wanted to take that class.
Well, I enjoyed my education, my college education so much. And what would really seem neat about this is like a fresh start for a lot of these high school students who, they're going to see the course offerings and, hey, I want to get started and this is going to be so much fun. What exactly, if I'm, thinking about coming to Mountain Gateway Community College, what's a reasonable timeline? Let's say I want to get going this next semester, fall semester. What exactly do I need to do?
Well, we're about to open up fall registration. So come in, make an appointment. Drop by student services here in Baptist Hall and start the process there. If you're in the high school, we're talking to your guidance counselors. Don't forget the Educational Foundation is always an option for scholarships and things like that. I mean, I was someone who benefited from the Educational Foundation. I'm a scholarship kid, and I was someone here. What I also really appreciate that most people don't know when they get here is the amount of tutoring and support we have. I would not have survived math classes without the tutoring. I'll tell you that. So, for your timeline, really, I think about April 1st, Dr. Worth, is that correct? Somewhere in there, we begin fall registration?
Yeah, April 1, we will start, that's just next week. We will get started on registration for summer and fall classes. So now is the ideal time to check us out online, mgcc.edu. You can submit your application there. Academic advisor will reach out to you, schedule a time for you to meet, and help you through the application process, look at the financial aid needs you may have, and get you registered for classes.
Well, this sounds really good. And Josh, he reminded me of a story about math. I remember looking at my Lithuanian math professor at Tulane and asking him a question, and he looked at me so sincerely, and he said, Mr. Clark, I don't understand why you don't understand. I never forgot that. This is great talking to you both, and we'll have some information that goes along with this video to help people along the way. And thank you once again, both of you, for joining us today.
Thank you
for having us on, Jerry.
Bye now.